What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob, and I got a rant. I'm sorry, I gotta complain about this again. A few videos back, when I first started this series, the Arifruta from Commonplace to World's Strongest got an anime adaptation this season, and I was truly disappointed. This is based off of a light novel and manga that I have enjoyed since it has been airing coming out, and I was hyped for the anime. Now, if you go back to my original video, you will notice how I talk about how they rushed through a lot of things. The first light novel, they somehow did in 5 episodes, which I can kind of understand, but they literally cut out a lot of how they got there, the backstory, the why, the stuff like that. They literally just got to the point where he's getting injured and he's having to deal with the labyrinth and yada 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 yada. I wanted to give this a chance. I've seen some anime that have gone from shit to gold, and I was really hoping that this one would be one of those. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, I've been watching this in dubbed because I did not like the Japanese voices, especially when it came to the character Yu. Something about her voice didn't strike me right. The way that they described it in the book and the way that the Japanese voice actor did it really didn't match for me. Luckily, the dub, in my opinion, did a far better job, in my opinion.
No, we'll take 2 rooms. Hajime and I will have our own. She is alone.
So I've been watching it in dub, so I am a little behind, but I've been keeping up with it. I gotta say, I am not liking what is happening. The speed that they are going through the story, like I said, the first 5 episodes were of the first light novel, the first labyrinth that Hajime and Yu will eventually get out of. Now, being that I don't know how long this show is going to go on or how far in the story they're going to do, I can accept 5 episodes for a labyrinth, for a light novel, even though they cut out a bunch of stuff. But then, they had an episode 5.5, a recap episode. What the hell are you recapping? It is 5 bloody episodes, and let's face it, you cut out a lot. Now, maybe if this recap episode would have filled in a lot of the gaps, it would have been worth it. But literally, 2/3 of it showed everything that happened, and then the 1/3 was a little bit of story from the heroes that aren't part of the main story. Other than that, this was a wasted episode. But you know what? Like I said, I'm trying my best to get through it. So episodes 6 and 7 came out. And when I say that they compressed the story quickly, oh my god, they did it in uber fashion. Like, this is Goku levels of power up to shrink a story. They literally took the second light novel, which is a couple hundred pages, and shrunk it to 2 damn episodes. One episode was completely dedicated to the dungeon. The other one was all the stuff that happened beforehand. And in my opinion, was a build-up to the character, the third character that comes in, of why she decides to join this group. The rabbit girl, Shay. She decides to join Hajime and Yu. And by the end of the 7th episode is pretty much trying to get Hajime romantically.
New idea. You sleep by yourself in another inn for all I care. I'll snuggle with Hajime. Got it? Oh yeah? Then what? I guess after that, I'll ask Hajime to take my virginity!
They skipped out a whole bunch of stuff in the story that would have shown why she became infatuated with both Hajime and Yu. Because in the light novel, when he and Yu get out of the labyrinth, Shay is there. She's trying to find him because she has this precognition skill, which lets her see tiny bits of the future, and she sees them and knows that they can help because her tribe is in trouble. The first thing that happens when they get out is there's a whole bunch of rabbit men who are being captured or trying to be captured by human slavers. Hajime saves them from that, and then he takes them back to the forest as long as they promise to take him to the next labyrinth, which is at a tree. When they get to the forest, the rabbit men are then confronted by not only monsters, but other beast men, because this forest is kind of a safe haven and there's multiple different races there that aren't human because they don't like humans, and they use this as a safety because there's a fog that makes people who aren't monsters get lost in it. And the rabbit tribe is kind of outcasted, and there's this one beast, I think it's like a lion or something, I'm not sure what, but it wants to kill Shay and get rid of the rabbits too, and Hajime basically says, if you fuck with them while I'm protecting them, I'm gonna kill you all. Get out of my way, let them lead me. And, you know, they go to the tree, and then while they're doing all this traveling, Hajime trains the rabbits tribe to become stronger because they're kind of weak and docile, and he trains them to a point where they can protect themselves, where they're kind of monstrous themselves, to where they can take on bigger and better tribes. That all supposedly happened in episode 6, but it skipped everything. No human slavers. You only saw Hajime meet the races, but there was no talking, no dialogue, no nothing. You didn't see how Shay was becoming interested in Hajime because he treated her like a normal person, not like a monster. These were all character build-up things for Shay. And this is all important stuff that this anime adaptation just threw out the window. And it is stupid. This was something that should have taken several episodes. Now, that was only the first half of the second light novel. The second half deals with the dungeon. The gravity dungeon, as I believe it's called. Or the labyrinth, I'm sorry. But they literally did that in under an episode, because like the first couple minutes is them trying to find their way in, and then somehow they got through it really quickly. There was a lot of stuff that happened in that labyrinth that showed how Shay was growing, especially since Yu was training her, and things that kept happening to prove that she's not a worthless rabbit, even though they keep calling her that. The way she fights, the way she would learn, and by the end, it's just they skipped so much. I mean, I'm literally struggling to say what was skipped, because they literally took something like 150 to 200 pages and ripped out 90% of it. Just because it's a fantastic novel and it's got a lot of action, good stuff, you need the backstory. You need to read or see the stuff that builds up to it. Just because she's a rabbit girl doesn't mean she's going to fall in love with the protagonist right off the bat. It has to build up to that. The animation, I will admit, has been pretty good. I have actually liked the animation to this, especially the way that they draw the characters. You've got Hajime, which is almost spot on. There's a little tweaks here and there, but I've accepted the way he looks. It looks pretty good. The voice actor they got in English is pretty good. I like it. They got his grumpiness down to a T. Yu is perfectly done. If you compare Yu in the anime versus Yu in the light novel and manga, she looks spot on. But then we get to Shay, which, I'm sorry, once again, they tweaked her a little. Now, I'm not sure if it's because she seems more plump in this, and I don't mean that in a sexual way, but her figure seems more round. Now, this is what she looks like in the anime. And now this is what she looks like in the manga. It's subtle, but something about the anime makes her look more childlike, in my opinion. She's a bit rounder in features. She seems a lot more ditzier. It's just something about the way they drew her. Almost feels like they spent all the money on the two main leads and then forgot about her. Which is sad, because she is like part of the trio in the first 3 light novels, maybe 4. It's not until we get our 4th one in the 3rd light novel, but it almost feels like they kind of didn't draw her at 100%. And something about it is just annoying me. Since this stuff was annoying me, I decided I needed to know who was screwing up this light novel. Now, the studio that was behind the animation on this was White Fox. Now, I wasn't 100% sure where I knew this name, so I decided that I was going to look them up. And I was completely surprised to find out what anime they've done. And they've done some really good ones. The studio has done Katana Gatari, Steins Gate, Your Mangund, The Devil is a Part-Timer, Akame ga Kill, ReZero, and one of my personal favorites that has become something I am even reading now, Goblin Slayer. See, to find out that this company has done such great animes, I mean, Steins Gate, through a lot of the anime community, is considered one of the best time travel animes out there. And ReZero, I'm still working through it because I'm having with it, but it is a good story, the animation's great, and it's got some beloved characters. The Devil is a Part-Timer is a great way to do comedy and yet have the fantasy elements in the real world. It's just baffling my mind that a company that has done such great animes is shitting all over a light novel that has so far had 6 out right now. 7 will be released in the US in December, and I think in chapters in mangas it's like up to 33 or something. I don't remember the exact number, but this is an ongoing story that has a fan base, and there have been a lot of people waiting for it, and White Fox has basically taken the anime and shat all over it. I've never been someone who says that a company needs to pull their head out of their ass as much as I am right now with White Fox. This is a great story. It must have been something that somebody liked because you guys are doing it and people are trying to watch it. If you keep shortening things, it's not going to work. You need to tell a story. Action is great, but action without any substance will get you nowhere. The fans are not going to like it. You can show as many explosions and bullets you want, but if there isn't a story and a reason, there's no point in us coming to watch it. And if you want your fans to like it enough to actually go and read the source material, you need to do better. Folks, I'm the Noob. I'm sorry that I had to rant, but I've never been this disappointed in an anime. I've either trying to give it a chance, and I'm trying not to stop. I really want to see how well they go through. But if they keep shorting the story and not caring about it, I'm gonna have to give up. Anyways, folks, what did you think of this anime? Have you given this a chance? Have you actually given up on it? Are you hoping they'll do better? Have you read the original material on it? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for letting me rant, and I'll catch you later. See ya!